I get very happy when I come to schools. I think I belong there. I always belong there, and I will always belong in a school environment. That's for sure. So, to begin with, Mr. Principal, thank you for having us here. And of course, I know we are taking some valuable time off your teaching classes, but I must say I'm very happy to see you all. And it was my dream to actually visit all the schools, but unfortunately my dream was cut short. But I never lose an opportunity to go back to the school, right? And I must congratulate you for the safe opening of the schools and of course following the COVID-19 protocols. Dear students, I must say that you will be part of history, because you will be probably the first batch of students who have been affected like this, right? And as adults, as an educator myself, as a parent myself, I think I must say, what should I say? I must say that we are indeed proud of you, because we have handled it very well, okay? There has been some deaths, there has been cases where people have got sick and recovered, but COVID-19 actually, what should I say, created havoc, not only in Fiji but across the globe. A lot of people have died, a lot of people have recovered, right? And here we are in what we now call a new normal. And God knows how long this will go on. It will go on, that's for sure. But how do we live with that is another question. How do we adjust to the new normal? That's another question. And I think one of the key words here would be responsibility. Everybody taking responsibility for himself or herself as well as others. So if you do not follow the safe COVID protocols, you are not only endangering your lives, but also that of your families and of your colleagues. This, Ministry of Health strongly advocates for the wearing of masks. But apart from wearing masks, there are a lot of other things you need to do. Some things may be impossible. Like when you walk, do you walk away from each other for 2 meters? Sometimes you forget that. I forget to wear my mask, sorry. So I have to carry my mask in my bag, and my staff have to carry it. Because that's a new habit we have to acquire. And believe me, it's not easy wearing a mask. You feel suffocated, right? This is a disposable mask. You use it and you dispose it. Unfortunately, we see a lot of people reusing it. So the mask that we have brought for you today, actually not for you, but for all the students in the Ba district, has been prepared here in Ba, up to Ministry of Health standards, and it has been prepared by our hard-working women, entrepreneurs, by the Ba Women's Forum. So I think it's a good thing, and that's the reason we started to distribute it in Ba first. This is made in Ba, like all of us. We are all made in Ba. Well, I'm made in Nandi, but I call myself Ba. But these masks are made and they are reusable. There's a difference between reusable and disposable. So each of you will get a mask according to your face size, and if you need 2, I'm sure we have more than enough to give you all. So you are the first batch of students that will be given that. Of course, we have some hand sanitizers, because these are 2 important components of fighting off the COVID-19 virus. And like I said, there are other things. Okay? So as students, I think it's very important that you yourself become ambassadors for fighting off COVID-19. Right? If you practice this in school, if you practice this in public, there will be a lot of people who will see you and do it. You can go home and make sure your parents follow that. Of course, the home environment is different from the public space. We should be more mindful of what's happening in the public space, in the buses. When you're roaming around the bus, and I know that's what students do, right? So as soon as the school breaks up, what do? Straight away go home. No need to roam in the marketplace or in the town, the bus stand. Do your chores, whatever you have to do, go back home. When you go back home, make sure, if you're at a dinner table, please talk about what you know about COVID-19. Because I'm sure we don't want to live like this all our lives, right? We don't want to lose loved ones. We don't want to get sick. And while they say that the children are a bit safe, of course you will need to have your vaccinations as well. So the vaccination has commenced, and slowly we expect all children to be vaccinated. And of course, if there are people in your homes who have not been vaccinated, please encourage them. I think we are close to 92%, I'm sorry, I stand to be corrected here, but a large proportion of Fiji's population has got vaccinated, okay? And so those that are left to be vaccinated, and if you know somebody who's not vaccinated, please encourage your elders in the family. And of course, tell your parents and your family members if you are old, if they're elderly members and they are sick, diabetes, hypertension, or any other disease that increases the risk of probably death and infections. So look after your seniors in the home too. Look after the little ones. But I think why we are here is to ensure that year 13s and 12s will be sitting for exams. And it's very important that you are healthy and well when you sit for the exams. And I know the ministry has announced that those who will not be able to sit for the exam, there are various various conditions to that, right? So if you miss out, but we don't want you to miss out. I must say, you have been robbed of, let me put it this way, COVID-19 has robbed you of your 2 years of freedom. And it definitely wouldn't have been easy. It wasn't easy on us adults. You can't go here, you can't go there. You know, curfews and everything else. So we want to be out of that. But coming back to students, I think, I would say, like I said before, I admire the resilience and the courage that our children have shown. Under lockdown, you can't meet your friends. You can't go out and socialize. You can't go out and take part in public sports, entertainment. I know you like social life, eh? And one of the things you like is coming out of home. Yes? Yeah. Get away from your parents nagging you, do this, do that. So I can imagine how many dishes you would have been washing and cleaning the house and cleaning the compound. And boys are all those, ask adults about it, eh? You cook and eat and clean, cook and eat and clean. You can't go anywhere. Some of your parents must have lost their jobs. Obviously, a lot of parents, workers lost their jobs. So another stress, right? When your data finishes, you can't go and buy your data because you need that. Young people need that. And I'm sure most of you have been stuck on your phones 24 hours. There's nothing you can do. Watch TV, go online, chat, Facebook, that's what you do. Okay? So it definitely lives have changed. Right? We started thinking differently now. Why? Because of all the challenges that we faced in terms of restricted movement, etc. And for those whose parents lost their jobs, etc., things may have been very difficult on you. As a government, we try to assist. And we are pushing for people to be following these COVID safety protocols so that they can fully open up. So now before 12 o'clock, we have to rush home because the curfew starts. And then we don't want to go till 1 or 2, eh? We want the curfews to be over so that you can travel freely, so that businesses open up freely. And for that's why I used the word in the first place, responsibility. Every citizen is responsible for making sure that our country goes back to normal where we were. Borders have opened up. That's why there border security there. A lot of things that happen when tourists come in. So you as, the youth generation, normally we say young people, leaders of tomorrow, you can become ambassadors of this. You have friends in other schools, talk about this. Talk about this when you meet, when you call each other. This is what happened, share. And with your exams coming up, I'm sure it will be a tough journey to that. But please keep up hope, okay? Be hopeful and be positive that things will happen. And to the teachers, I'm sure you've done your part. It hasn't been easy with online teaching, with not everybody having access to online internet facilities and laptops, probably stuff like that. And worksheets is not the same as face-to-face learning. Remember that some people do it, some people don't do it. So face-to-face learning is actually, in my view, the best way. Because we compromise quality. Our students are so used to having a teacher and a board teaching them. Even if it's online learning, you need a face of the teacher, right? And the last 2 years we've been having this hybrid model, and I'm sure we haven't been able to target 100% of students when it comes to online teaching. So here we are, opening up slowly, to face-to-face learning, and I'm sure, we have full faith in the teachers that they have done justice to that. Please, teachers, continue working with the same zeal and vigor and compassion. I know, I have a teacher in my house, my elder daughter is a teacher, so the effort she goes to contact her students. Every student should be calling, why are you not online? You've missed out this lesson, they have these Viber groups, etc. But again, like I said, this face-to-face is what our students are used to. So, don't be depressed. Don't be depressed, don't be sad. This is not the end of the world. Be hopeful, right? Do your best. I know you have very little time before you sit for your year 13 exams, but giving your best. Okay? Don't think too much about it, you'll become depressed. It is as it is. There's nothing that we could have done better. We tried every means to ensure that we kept our children occupied. And if you have doubts, if you have serious doubts about you not being prepared for the exams, cast that away. It's only going to make things difficult. Say, yes, I'm prepared. This is it. That's it. You have a couple of days, get some more guidance from your teachers and your friends, and I'm sure you will do well. It's a very, very important year. Year 13 students, a very important year for you. So keep up hope. And those that have not tried, you know how much effort you put in. Those that have put in 100% of the effort all this school year, I'm sure you will do well. So all we can say is that we are not out of the dangers yet. With this new Omicron virus coming in, we are not, and God knows what's going to come next. I don't know, I'm sure you don't know, the world doesn't know, but we can either expect things to worsen, or we can either expect things to calm down and take us back to our normal lives. But for a long time, I'm sure this is what's going to be normal. And one of the best ways to fight with the situation now is to mask up. Hygiene is very important, right? Hygiene is very important. So keep your hygiene at high levels, wash your hands, hand sanitizers, soap and water. Not every home can have sanitizer. I know that there's a cost coming to sanitizers. So soap and water is the best thing to use. Mask up, keep your hands clean, try to stay away from crowds. That's very important. Well, that's how it is, right? So I know you're running against time to prepare for exams. So I'd like to wish you all the very best. And to all the staff, thank you very much for the work that you do. Please continue doing that. Like I said, there's a lot of trust that we place in the work of you teachers. Continue to do that. And I'm sure very soon we will be able to meet each other and greet each other and live how we used to live, right? Nothing's lost yet. Don't sit there and look at me as if we are all doomed. Smile. Yes, that's what you need to do. Keep up that face. You are brave young men and women. Very brave. You've gone through 2 years of COVID. What more does the world want from you? The world wants, what the world expects from you is to stand high, chin up, move forward, do your exams,